What's happening, guys? Back again with another build. What's going to be happening today is I will be upgrading my tower here. So I have decided to basically use two 5-inch two-way coaxial speakers or for 2 towers. So it'll be a total of 4 speakers, 2 towers, so that I can actually have more better, how can I put it, a more better feeling of the demo or feeling of the music. Because all along I've only been using this one speaker to basically get my mid bass and my vocals through this one, and I've only really been using one channel, which means I was losing out on the stereo effect. I've only been playing really mono, but mono stereo on one side. So I'll be doing this upgrade for today, basically on this build here. Okay, now what I've got here is the actual diagram of the two. Okay, as you can see here, there's the actual driver itself. It's basically a 5-inch Targa two-way, which will only have the tweeter and the woofer here, which is fine. I'm not really going too fancy on this thing here. The frequency response will be anything from 60 Hertz to 10,000 Hertz. It might be a little bit more, but that will be ideal for this project of mine. And here I'm not going to be losing out, because remember that the woofer, as it also slopes down and drops off because of obviously setting your low pass filter, they will meet somewhere, and then basically they will be helping each other out, so to say. So on this one here, I'll be wiring the speakers to 8 ohms. I know people will be like, why not 2 ohms, you know? For me, I prefer, yes, it'll be louder, but for me right now, I prefer a more responsive speaker than a loud speaker. And the more responsive speaker will make my sound come out even clearer, instead of, if it's closer to a more pure, for argument's sake, let's say 100 Hertz, it'll be as close as possible to its purest form at 8 ohms versus 2 ohms. Now I'll be getting at 2 ohms, I'll be getting 100 Hertz, which will be loud, but 100 Hertz plus something else along with it, some other harmonic package, you can say, in that. So with the 8 ohm, it'll kind of restrict that. It'll be more accurate, it'll be more responsive. That's how I feel. And in terms of loudness, 8 ohms is not that soft. If you look at some of these high-end home theater systems, some of them 8 ohms, 16 ohms, and they're loud, and they're very loud. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, I'll be losing out on output, but I'll be gaining on quality, so to say. So this will be the actual build here on this here. Right now, what I've got in front of me is what will be used for the build itself. So over here on this side here, I've got my wire strippers, I've got my drill. This is a normal drill, it's not the impact drill. It's good enough for this type of build. The impact drill is in the other room, so I won't be using that today. I've got this 90-degree clamp. Okay, I'll be using the actual measuring tape. I'll be using these two also to measure. Speaker wire cable and the clamp. I've got 2 of them, so I'll be using 2 of them to clamp the wood down as I apply after I apply the glue. Clamp it down so that it can basically hold stiff. And then I've got this terminal cup, and then I've got this here. This is basically an easy way to cut the hole for the terminal cup to mount it. It's about the same hole size, a little bit tight, but it's fine. And then lastly, I've got the jigsaw. So this whole project will be done with a jigsaw, because I've got scrap wood just laying around, so I'm just gonna cut it out with just a jigsaw and the scrap wood that I've got. And lastly but not least, what's not on this here is actual wood glue. So that'll also be with the screws in it. I didn't put it here, but you know, you'll get the picture. So as it goes, you'll just see also how it goes in that. Yeah, that's I think that's about it. That's all you'll basically need, besides those two that I mentioned that are not here, the wood glue and the screws. If you got this, you can actually build your box. And then lastly, the wood. This here is obviously the offcuts that I've got tons of these offcuts, quite a lot of them. So just to make space now, I decided just to do this upgrade. So what will happen is I'll just use a jigsaw for this and just cut. Instead of working hard, I work smart. I designed the actual box based on my length here. So there's no need for me to cut across down. So all I have to do is just measure and cut. That's it. That small little section and cut. So for me to make errors and whatever, it's going to be minimum than to actually start to try and cut the breadth and maybe the width. I'm going to be maybe doing some mistakes, especially with a jigsaw. So I'm trying to minimize all that with that. And this is 16mm wood MDF, so it's quite thick, it's quite dense. So yeah, then let's just see how it pans out. Okay, lastly, because one is going to be working with MDF, and MDF it's quite potent. That dust is very dusty. Always safety first. So I will be using these goggles and the dust mask. Now this one, unfortunately, it's the one that fogs up. The other one that doesn't fog up, I do not know where it is. I can't find it. It's somewhere. So but for now I'll just have to use this and then just give it intervals so that it can unfog. But yeah, always safety first when you work with any wood, but MDF specifically, that wood, safety first, guys. Okay, as always, before I fit any speaker in any box, is I always do the small little basic tests. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the polarity test, because I already know the speaker works because they tested it for me when I bought it. So I know it plays. So now I just want to make sure that my polarity is right. There's nothing worse than when you fit in your sound system and then you've got phase issues. So rather make sure that from factory, positive is positive, negative is negative, and it's right, and then you can commit and fit. Okay, so I'll only be doing it with this one speaker on video, but then I'm going to be testing all of them off camera. So that one there would be there in the negative, the smaller one, sorry. That will be negative, and that would be positive. And obviously on the battery side here, the 9-volt battery, that's negative, and then that's positive. So when I basically send current through the speaker, or DC current, what will happen is if it's the right polarity, it should go up. Okay, so it should just go up and then come back if I obviously disconnect the battery. So as you can see, negative is the other side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here, and then I'll put it on the positive. You should be able to see it. There it goes, up, up. And obviously if I do it vice versa, it should go down. Okay, so I know this speaker, the polarity is right. Now I'm going to move over to the next ones. There you go, project completed. Two 5-inch speakers, basically in this tower that I've built there. Two of them, for basically both left and right. It came out very well, okay, even though it was a jigsaw. I've got quite a few places where it's skew in that, but then again, I was cutting with a jigsaw, so I had to try my level best to keep it as straight as possible. But other than that, it came out, I think it came out pretty good. So on the right hand side, as you can see there, that's the chalk. My silicone actually dried out, so I didn't have any clear silicone left, so I opted to use acrylic chalk, so just to seal. and basically I can gain access on the right hand side at any time I wish to, but it'll never happen, and there'll be no reason for me to actually open it up again. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the ohms test. It's a bit difficult to get the stuff in there, but anyway. Okay, I'm sure as you can see there, it's 8.6. Okay, obviously now I was supposed to first tap the two leads together to get a reading, and then actually minus that from the initial reading here. But as you can see, it's within 8 ohms, so it's right, it's accurate. Okay. As you can see there, the original demo box is this one here on the left, and obviously what I've built there on the right. Clear difference from what I can see here. It looks like the demo box was it looked like a 5-inch as well, and claimed a tweeter on top, and then it's got a port there at the back there, just a normal aero port. So for me, this here is a massive upgrade from this to that. So I'm gonna do some tests, and then I'll show you guys how it goes. Another thing, guys, with this bolt here right now as it stands, okay, it's a little bit bigger than what I originally designed it for. As I stated, is I wanted to keep my cuts as straight as possible. Okay, so I wanted to cut minimum. So the spare wood that I got, I basically redesigned the box based on what I've got. But as it stands, this here right now, you can actually put in a 6x9. You can even put in 2 6-inches, because you can see the 5-inch itself. Oops. Okay, 5-inch itself is over here. Okay, and then that's just a spacer for it. Okay, so I can actually just use a 6-inch or a 6x9 as well for this build. But the original size box is a bit smaller than this. It'll almost be like the one on the left in terms of sizing, more or less. So just to clear that up about this huge size and that, but it still works and plays perfectly for its size. Okay, so now what I've got here is the 2 towers. I've disconnected the subwoofer just to test the 2 towers with this one track. I'll be playing a non-copyrighted track, so yeah, enjoy, and then you can more or less feel what's the outcome of this build just by listening to this. Now I will be playing this at volume 22 on the deck. The deck can go up to 40, but undistorted it goes up to 35. So I mean, a complex noise and all the, you know, the politics and whatever, so I won't be able to really play it at like basically full tilt. So I will be playing it at volume 22 for now. And I have played it before, not this tower, but the other one with a 6th order, and yeah, the securities came for me. So right now I'm not gonna really push it that hard, but just to get a feel of it, you know, just how it feels and how it plays in that. This is only the 2 towers, no subwoofer connected. The 4th order band pass is not connected. The RCA is on top there, as you can see. basses are coming out very, very nicely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the same song with the fourth order bandpass connected to it now. So I'm going to connect the RCAs to the back of the deck, and then I'm going to play the same song also up to a minute, and just again just to get the feel from the full spectrum of this song. And then yeah, we'll just see. Let me just quickly connect it. Okay, this is with bandpass connected. Big difference. Okay, the next track I'm going to be playing is one from a video game back in the days, Sega Saturn, Nights Enter Dreams. So this is one of those when you select your character and it's got that theme behind it. Train moving there. Whoa, that song brings back some memories. Whoa, it makes me feel like pulling out my Saturn and actually playing it. Yeah, but yeah, amazing. It sounds very, very amazing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the PC and also just do some tests there. And then I'm going to do basically a frequency sweep with the bandpass connected as well. Right, I've got the PC set up. It's basically playing at the back. You might actually hear a whining noise. I've got two PCs. I've got the Ryzen behind me and I've got the P4. So right now it's quiet, so there's somewhere along the line there'll be a whining sound from the fan. So but I'm sure once I play music or whatever, that whining sound is irrelevant. You won't even hear it, but it is quite loud. Just bear in mind about that. So I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as possible, as swift as possible, before that sound actually comes.
At least let me drive. Y'all better have some real cars around here. Okay, I see somebody got jokes, huh? Alright. I don't know if you're ready for them though. You look a little nervous. What up, Toes?
Okay, right now I'm going to do the bass sweep. Okay, as I've stated, I can't really go that loud with the system because of obviously staying now in a complex and that. Like that movie I demoed now, it's pretty soft because obviously I set it soft. Okay, now I'm going to be doing a bass sweep. This is can't remember the guy's name, but it's on YouTube and that, so he's got a very decent bass sweep. Actually does music along with the sweep as well. So, and he tests both speakers left and right, and obviously your subwoofer. So, and I'm sure as you can hear that whining sound, that's there, it started already. So guys, bear in mind that obviously I cannot push it that loud. Like with that movie demo now, here and there it was a bit soft, but then obviously you know our movie is just doof, you know, it just goes instantly loud and that. Basically the setting on the PC, the main volume controller is at 33, and then obviously the actual app itself will be anything from 50 to 100. Now when they were complaining about me playing, I had the main source, the main volume on the laptop. It was at volume 50, and then the app was at 50, the media player was at 50, and then they came complaining, and I've already done tests on that. I can actually have the main volume at 90 and the app volume at 100, and it will give me a clean signal. But that's too loud. So I mean, you can just imagine now they came for me with such volume now. So obviously now it's at 30, the main volume is at 33, and then the app is at about 30 or 40, somewhere there. Okay, so just bear that in mind with this test that I'm going to be doing here, the bass sweep or the frequency sweep.
Welcome to Jimmy Dixon's sound check. We'll begin with left, 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 right, right, right. Then we'll continue with low bass sounds. Mid-range sounds. High sounds. Let's continue with testing the quality of the sound. We will play the same sample but in different qualities displayed on screen. Remember that your equipment, your headphones, your speaker, your amplifier, as well as your ears and your capability to hear, which is often related to age, will limit how much difference you will hear from this same tune in different qualities.
Yeah, that 64 kilobits per second is almost like what YouTube would try and shrink the MP3 files. There's a massive difference. You'll hear now.
This world's so crazy. Won't you
it's a little bit more responsive. You can actually hear it clearer at 192. Now it's gonna be the sweep. It's gonna be intense. Whoa. $15,000, $12,000, $10,000, $9,000, $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000, $1,000. 800, 700, 600, 500, 300. Now it's peaking. The towers are peaking. It's 100. And now they drop off. And now it comes to the bass now. The subwoofer, 60 Hertz, 50 Hertz, 40 Hertz, 30 Hertz. 25 Hertz I can still hear.
Thank you for using Jimerism Sound Test.
Right now we're going to be playing some games. One of my favorite classics of Capcom, which is Street Fighter Alpha 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna insert coins. Still maze.
Round one, fight!
I'm rusty in this game. Woo.
Round two, fight! Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Alright, that's the actual complete build with the demos of what it can do. So if you guys want to venture into something like this, by all means, yeah, definitely I would recommend building something like this for a home theater setup, and that's if you got the tools and if you got the blueprint of the designs in it, why not? So for me, this is a far improvement to that one speaker setup that I had. and far more enjoyable. I'm actually enjoying all the stuff that I put on here and games that I play and all that stuff. So yeah, what I will do is I will leave some of the links, like the sound sweep, the frequency sweep. I'll leave a link in the description below, so just check it out. It's very, very good and very, very useful. And yeah, that's about it. Definitely, guys, if you want to do something like this, I would recommend it and do it. Yeah, if somebody maybe wants a blueprint of this specific one, yeah, sure, I don't mind. I can forward this kind of information and that. So yeah, anyway, guys, peace. Noob Master out.